There are moments in life when silence speaks louder than words, when the weight of our own thoughts becomes heavier than the world outside. Everyone has been there, staring at the ceiling late at night, asking themselves if they're moving forward or just standing still. It is in those hours, when the world is quiet, that the truth whispers. Your life is not waiting for the perfect chance. Your life is waiting for you to decide. People often believe change begins with a spark, some magical inspiration. But the truth is harsher and far more powerful. Change begins the moment you stop lying to yourself. The moment you admit that the excuses you repeat every morning are nothing more than chains you've learned to wear. Think about it. How many times have you said, "Tomorrow I'll start"? Tomorrow to eat better. Tomorrow to focus. Tomorrow to chase the dream. And yet, tomorrow arrives and nothing changes. Tomorrow becomes a graveyard of broken promises, while today bleeds out in silence. Life doesn't reward hesitation. Life rewards courage, not the loud kind of courage that people post online, but the quiet courage of choosing discipline over comfort. Courage of standing in front of your own reflection and saying, "I will no longer be my own enemy." Every mountain you see was once a pile of rocks. Every empire was once a single step taken by someone who refused to wait. And the only real difference between those who succeed and those who remain trapped in cycles is this: one chose action while the other chose comfort. Here's the harsh reality. Comfort is the most dangerous drug known to humanity. It doesn't destroy you all at once. It whispers gently, makes you feel safe, and convinces you that this is enough. But every day you let comfort win, you bury your potential deeper underground. When you decide to rise, people will doubt you. Some will laugh. Some will even try to drag you back down, because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. But that resistance is proof you're moving. Remember, airplanes don't take off with the wind. They rise against it. You were not born to remain ordinary. You were not born to live and die in the shadow of fear. There is something within you that is louder than doubt, stronger than excuses, greater than the weight you carry. That voice may be faint, but it's real. And once you let it speak, once you allow it to guide you, you'll realize the only limits that existed were the ones you agreed to believe. This is the beginning, not of a story that ends in regret, but of a story that begins with choice. The choice to stand up, to confront your truth, and to say, "Enough. My time starts now." Every person you admire once stood exactly where you stand now. Uncertain, afraid, filled with doubt. They weren't born with unshakable confidence. They built it, one painful decision at a time. What separates them from the rest is not talent, not luck, but the willingness to pay the price that most people refuse to pay. The price is discipline. The price is sacrifice. The price is choosing the harder road when the easier one begs for your attention. It's waking up before the sun when your body pleads for sleep. It's saying no to distractions when everyone around you is saying yes. It's walking away from temporary pleasures so you can build permanent strength. Discipline is not glamorous. Nobody claps for you when you resist temptation. Nobody celebrates you for practicing in silence. But here's the secret. Discipline builds the invisible foundation of greatness. And one day, when your results speak louder than the noise, the same people who ignored your struggle will point and say, "You're lucky." Luck has nothing to do with it. It is the quiet hours, the unseen sacrifices, the relentless effort that make people call it luck. The truth is simple. Effort compounds. Every small step you take today may seem invisible, but those steps stack up, and one day, they transform into mountains. But here is the warning. Excuses also compound. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you don't just lose one day, you build a habit of delay. Excuses multiply faster than discipline. And if you let them, they will build a cage so strong that even when the door is open, you'll feel too weak to walk out. Ask yourself this. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Will you look back and say, "I'm glad I endured. I'm glad I stayed consistent"? Or will you whisper, "I had the chance, and I let it slip"? The future is not built in the future. It is built in the present. Your mind will fight you. It will whisper that you are not ready, that you are too broken, too late, too weak. But the truth is, every champion began as someone who refused to listen to those same lies. The voice in your head is not your enemy. The agreement you make with it is. Stop negotiating with your weakness. Stop justifying the chains that hold you back. Every time you argue for your limitations, you make them stronger. Instead, argue for your possibilities. Argue for the person you could become. Argue for the dream that refuses to die inside you. The path will not be easy. It will test your patience, your endurance, your faith. But in the end, difficulty is not your enemy. Difficulty is proof that you are walking where few have the courage to go. And when you keep walking, when you keep choosing discipline over excuses, sacrifice over comfort, faith over fear, you will discover something profound. The person you have been searching for all along is the one you were meant to build. This is not about perfection. This is about persistence. And persistence, over time, beats everything else. There's a truth we often forget. Success is not reserved for the chosen few. It's reserved for the consistent few. The world is full of talented people who never went anywhere, because talent without discipline rots. But the person who shows up day after day, even when it hurts, will always rise above the one who only moves when it feels good. Think about the stories we admire. The athlete who trains while injured. The student who studies under a flickering streetlight because there's no electricity at home. The worker who builds a business after long night shifts. These stories inspire us because they prove something simple. Greatness is not about perfect conditions, it's about relentless commitment. The problem is, we keep waiting for the right moment, the right mood, the right environment, the right amount of energy. But life doesn't hand you perfect conditions. Life hands you obstacles, distractions, responsibilities, and tests. If you only act when it feels convenient, you will live a life of endless waiting. Consistency is the quiet power that changes everything. A single workout doesn't transform your body, but 100 workouts do. One book doesn't change your mind, but 100 books can. One disciplined choice won't rewrite your destiny, but thousands of them will. It's the same with failure. Failure isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal to refine. Failure is the feedback life gives you to show where you need to grow. Every person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. The difference is they used failure as a teacher, not a tombstone. Most people treat failure like a wall. They hit it once, feel the pain, and turn around. But champions treat failure like a mirror. It shows them what to improve. They don't walk away. They adjust their stance and strike again. That's why they win. Ask yourself, how many dreams have you buried because you stumbled once? How many times did you stop because the world told you no? The truth is, the world's no doesn't matter. The only no that matters is the one you keep telling yourself. Here's something powerful to remember. Every master was once a beginner who refused to quit. Every leader was once a follower who chose to learn. Every success story you've heard was once an ordinary human who decided their excuses would no longer rule them. And this is where perspective becomes your weapon. You can look at your struggle as punishment, or you can look at it as preparation. The fire you walk through today is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to forge you. Steel only becomes strong after it passes through fire. You are no different. So don't run from the hardship. Don't hide from the discomfort. Embrace it, because it's shaping you into someone you don't even recognize yet. And when you finally meet that version of yourself, the one who survived the storms, the one who endured the nights of doubt, you'll understand why the struggle was necessary. The future belongs to those who choose growth over comfort, persistence over excuses, and faith over fear. And the choice right now is yours. One day, you will wake up and realize that life was never asking you to be perfect. It was asking you to be present, to show up, to fight when it was easier to surrender, to believe when it was safer to doubt. And when that realization hits, you'll see that greatness was never somewhere outside of you. It was always waiting inside, buried under fear, hesitation, and excuses. History remembers those who dared to move while others froze. It remembers those who believed in their vision, even when the world called them crazy. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. These words echo through every story of triumph. Because in the end, persistence makes all mockery irrelevant. The truth is, you don't need to be extraordinary to start. You don't need the perfect plan, or all the resources, or everyone's approval. You need one thing: the decision to begin. Progress doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most relentless. There will be days you stumble, days when you question if it's even worth it. But remember this: storms don't last forever, and every sunrise proves that darkness was temporary. In your hardest hours, when quitting feels easier than breathing, whisper to yourself, "Not yet. My story is not finished." Because that's what resilience really is. Not the absence of pain, but the refusal to let pain decide your ending. Imagine 5 years from now. You look in the mirror, and you see the person who never gave up. The person who chose growth over comfort, faith over fear, discipline over distraction. That reflection is possible, but it requires the version of you today to rise. You are not powerless. You are not too late. You are not too broken. The very fact that you are still breathing means there is still a fight left in you. And the fight is worth it. So let today be the line you draw in the sand. Let today be the day you stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's expectations. Let today be the day you stop waiting for permission to become who you were always meant to be. Do not aim for easy. Easy robs you of meaning. Aim for growth. Aim for struggle. Aim for the kind of life that will make your future self proud to whisper, "I chose the hard road, and it was worth it." Remember this: pain is temporary, but regret is forever. And when your time comes to look back on your journey, you won't remember the nights you rested. You'll remember the nights you fought. Your life is a canvas. Every decision is a stroke of paint. Don't waste it scribbling in gray when you have the chance to create something bold. Pick up the brush, take control, and paint a story that demands to be remembered. Because in the end, it's simple. Excuses die, discipline lives. Fear fades, faith endures. And ordinary people, with extraordinary persistence, change the world. This is your moment. Take it. And when all is said and done, when the noise of the world has faded and the crowd has gone silent, there will be one question left for you to answer. Did I live fully, or did I merely exist? Existing is easy. Anyone can wake up, repeat yesterday, and call it life. But living, truly living, means daring to step into the fire, daring to chase the vision that scares you, daring to walk alone until your persistence forces the world to walk with you. Do not fear the scars you collect along the way. Scars are not proof of weakness, they are proof you fought. Scars are the handwriting of resilience carved into your skin. They whisper that you didn't bow to the weight of your struggle, that you stood and you endured. One day, you will stand at the edge of your story. You will look back at every choice, every sacrifice, every sleepless night, and you will know exactly why it all mattered. You will realize that the mountains were worth climbing, the storms were worth facing, the battles were worth fighting, because they built you into someone unshakable. So promise yourself this. Never leave this world with your song still trapped inside you. Don't let fear silence the masterpiece you were born to create. The clock is ticking, the stage is waiting, and your life is the performance no one else can give. Remember, ordinary roads lead to ordinary destinies. But the road of courage, the road of sacrifice, the road of unbreakable persistence, that road leads to legacy. This is your legacy in the making. This is your fire. This is your time. Step forward, claim it, and let the world remember the name of the one who refused to quit.